While the turkey tends to be the center of everybody's Thanksgiving dish, I get the most excited about the different side dishes. So today I want to share 4 delicious vegetable side dishes that you can make to make your Thanksgiving dinner the most delicious ever. An incredible whole roasted cauliflower, bacon wrapped green beans, maple Dijon sautéed Brussels sprouts, and garlic roasted carrots and broccolini. I will add timestamps to the description below so you can jump around to each individual recipe you want to have a look at first. Now, which one should we start with? Bacon wrapped green beans? I knew you were gonna say that. So this is a real show stealer side dish. People always end up drooling over these. For these, you will need a pound of washed green beans. Make sure the hard ends and vines are all cut off and then place them just in the steaming basket for the Instant Pot. Add a cup of water to the pot, the trivet, and then the steaming basket with the green beans. Put on the lid, seal it, and set the pot to 0 minutes on high pressure. So it just gets to pressure and then immediately shuts off. Get an ice bath ready in the meantime, and as soon as the pressure cooker beeps, release pressure manually and remove the green beans and place in the ice bath to immediately stop from cooking, or else they'll be all soggy and soft. Then drain the beans and start the rolling process. Take about 8 green beans and then take a rasher of bacon and lay it flat on your cutting board. Place the green beans perpendicular at the top and start rolling them in tightly into the strip of bacon. Once you rolled all of your beans into bacon rashers, preheat a large pan over medium heat. Either use the biggest pan possible or work in 2 batches. You don't want to crowd the pan or too many juices form and the bacon ends up cooking instead of frying. Add the rolled beans to the hot pan with the crease to the bottom to seal it and avoid the bacon rolling open during the cooking process. Leave enough space in between each individual roll and fry for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. Turn them all around to fry from all sides. It will only take about 5 to 7 minutes in total. Remove the rolls from the pan and place in a serving dish. Then sprinkle with some coarse sea salt and chopped almonds and serve. Look how beautiful they look when you cut inside. The beans are al dente and cooked to perfection, and the bacon is beautifully crispy. The next recipe is just as simple and delicious: garlic butter roasted carrots and broccolini. I love how incredibly beautiful and colorful this dish looks. All you will need for this is a pound of carrots. After washing, make sure you dry them really well, or else they will steam instead of roast. No need to peel them really. You can roast the thin ones that are about as thick as your thumb whole, but I recommend cutting the thicker ones in half lengthwise so everything roasts evenly. Once all carrots are about the same thickness, add them to a baking sheet in 1 layer and then set them aside. Get a small saucepan and melt 2 tablespoons of butter, then add a little sea salt and pepper, and about 3 cloves of minced garlic and saute only for about 1 minute. Then remove from the heat and brush your carrots with the garlic butter, leaving at least half of the garlic butter in the saucepan. Now place the carrots in the 400 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven for 10 minutes, and in the meantime get a pound of washed and dried broccolini. And if there are any super thick stems, cut them like the carrots in half lengthwise. And then add them all to the saucepan with the garlic butter left in it, and use your hands to smother them with the remaining melted butter. Then go get the baking sheet with the pre-roasted carrots out of the oven and place the broccolini around the carrots in 1 layer. Then put the carrots and broccolini back in the oven for 25 further minutes or until fork tender. Look how gorgeous the colors of the veggies are preserved by roasting them this way. Okay, off to the next recipe. These incredible maple mustard sautéed Brussels sprouts. They are so flavorful. Just like with the green beans, I recommend pressure cooking them a little bit before sautéing to reduce cooking time and ensuring the center is cooked through without the exterior burning. For that, you'll have to take your pound of washed Brussels sprouts and cut off the dry ends. Then add them to your steamer basket. Then add about a cup of water to your Instant Pot and then place the steamer basket on top of the trivet. Put on the lid and seal it and set the pressure cooker to 0 minutes on high pressure. So it just gets to pressure and then shuts off immediately. In the meantime, finely chop an onion. Then once the Instant Pot beeps, immediately release pressure manually and remove the Brussels sprouts from the pot and transfer to a cutting board so you can cut them all in half lengthwise. Now add the halved Brussels sprouts to a bowl and get a second bowl to mix the sauce in it. For the sauce, you will need 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Whoops, spilled quite a bit there. Then use a fork or whisk and mix it all well and then pour the smooth sauce over the Brussels sprouts. Then use a spatula or your hands to ensure all Brussels sprouts are well coated in the sauce. Now preheat a large pan over medium heat and once hot add a drizzle of olive oil to it and saute the chopped onions for about 3 to 4 minutes or until they start browning. At this point add your Brussels sprouts and saute until they reach your desired softness. Remove from the heat and then add a handful of dried cranberries and a handful of chopped pecans. Give it a quick stir and season with additional coarse sea salt if necessary. I admit this isn't the prettiest side dish, but oh boy, it is delicious. And now lastly, I actually think this is my favorite of the 4 of them, the whole roasted cauliflower. For that, you will obviously need a cauliflower. I've already washed this head. Remove the leaves from the bottom and then use a knife to carefully remove part of the stem, but making sure you do not cut into it too deep so the florets start breaking off. Keep your cauliflower whole. The next step is optional, but it reduces the roasting time in half, so I recommend it. Just like the green beans and Brussels sprouts, it's a good idea to pressure cook the whole cauliflower just for a little bit. So add it to your pressure cooker with a cup of water, set it to 0 minutes on high pressure so it just gets to pressure and then immediately shuts off. In the meantime, get a small saucepan and melt a 1/4 cup salted butter, and once melted, add a bit of freshly cracked black pepper to it. By now, the Instant Pot probably beeped, so manually release the pressure immediately to avoid overcooking the cauliflower. Remove it from the pot and place stem side down in an oven-proof dish or cast iron pan and drizzle the melted butter over it, making sure you cover all florets. Use your hands to ensure the whole head is buttered. Then turn the cauliflower around and add a 1/4 cup creme fraiche or sour cream to the center of the cauliflower. Season with a little sea salt and then press about 1 cup of grated cheese into the center really tightly. Now place the cauliflower in the 400 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven for 30 minutes. If you did not pressure cook your cauliflower before, which is totally possible, you just have to roast it for 1 hour. Once the cheese is melted and the cauliflower starts browning at the top, remove it from the oven, add a bit of fresh thyme on top for garnish, and cut into it like a cake. Serve on a plate and drizzle with the juices that formed in the bottom of your pan or your dish. And this is it, my 4 vegetable side dish suggestions for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I hope you're gonna give one or all 4 of these a try. And since this is a Thanksgiving video, I want to take the opportunity to thank all of you and tell you how happy I am that you're following along on my blogging journey and YouTubing journey. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful you're here.